Welcome back to the Scarcity Podcast. This is your host, Mike, and my co-host, Scott. How are you doing today, man? Right. Shine bright like a diamond. Yep.
Yeah. I don't like it because the light reflects way more on me because my hair is light.
Yeah.
So, it really fucking shines now.
Yeah.
I saw that setting up the lighting. I was like, well, I definitely either need a new camera or different lighting now because this is going to be a problem.
You don't look crazy blown out to me.
It's not super bad, but at first setting it up, I had to change the location of the lighting. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little bit annoying. When I get a little too close, sometimes it shines a bit too much. But
yeah.
You wanna, no, you did the last one. I'll bring it up. This film we're talking about today is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
The Black Sheep.
Yeah, I've always said that if you watch the film disregarding the Halloween franchise, it's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
And Mike has always said that you see a lot of people bitching, even disregarding that people don't like the movie. I'll say they're fucking stupid. That's dumb. I'll start off the episode saying if you don't like Halloween 3, even disregarding the Halloween franchise and think it's a bad movie, you're fucking stupid. I don't even love the movie. I will go out on a whim and say hey man, look at it completely different. Say the title was just called Season of the Witch, and you think it's a genuinely bad movie. Fuck it. What? I don't even love it. I just think it's weird. What makes people so impassioned about this movie to dislike it? I don't get it.
I always see people throw around bro, it's about killer Halloween masks.
It's about commercialism.
It's not about killer Halloween masks. It's about a warlock using commercialism to fucking sacrifice children for a fucking Celtic festival of the dead. It's not about the masks.
You know my favorite thing about this is I like to think that Carpenter, because he was producing this film.
Yeah.
I like to think when he was producing it, he's like, commercialism does suck ass. Obey. And then he made They Live.
Pretty much, honestly, it's kind of funny.
They Live is 87, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
87, 86, around that period.
Yeah, it's really funny because they hired a guy to write the script for this, Nigel Neal, who was the creator of the Quartermass character. I think is the name of the character. It's a British television show, but he's a very prolific sci-fi writer, and he had to take the bones of it still exist in this movie. But Carpenter actually did an uncredited rewrite on the movie that then Tommy Lee Wallace rewrote that. And Nigel Neal said, take my name off the movie because I don't like what you're making. So Tommy Lee Wallace ended up with the sole writing credit for the movie. He's just I didn't write this movie alone, guys. It's a lie. And I can't do anything about it because the guy doesn't want to be on the movie.
And like I said, if you genuinely hate this movie, that's dumb. I think it's not the best. I don't think it's the best film ever. I think it's good, and I like it, but there are problems with it.
I love this movie.
That's great, man. I think there's a lot to like. The ambiance and the atmosphere are really good in the film.
I didn't see this till later in life.
I hadn't watched it till much later.
Yeah, I didn't watch it until I got the 15 disc, the Scream Factory box set.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Halloween 3 before that, and I was either in college or going into college when I bought the set.
I think you got it either in college or maybe even a year after.
I had it. I definitely had it before I left college. I know that for sure. Okay. But I got it secondhand. But I didn't have Halloween 3, so I never saw it. And I always heard everyone's oh, it's the bad one. It's the shit movie. It doesn't even have Michael Myers in it. It's oh, what the fuck's the point in that movie then? But you actually sit down, you watch it, and you just take it for what it is. It's really cool. Yeah. It's super. It is. I think almost inarguably the most Halloween movie.
Yeah, I mean it's really.
It's literally.
It's really not contestable though.
It's the Halloween movies They reference Halloween, and they have the half-hearted bullshit in Halloween 2 where oh, Sam Hain, they write it on the fucking chalkboard in blood. But this whole movie is based around the ancient the older idea of Halloween. So it is the most Halloween movie, and it is such an easy movie to just throw on in October Like it's such a fun movie, and
I wouldn't throw it on personally.
yeah, I throw it on every
totally
act
get
of
it being a background film, but like, I don't love the score. I like it.
Score.
I think it's good. I think sometimes it's just synth filler, and other times it's really poignant. So like, it's not a bad score, but to me, there's like highs and then there's lows, and that fluctuates for me throughout the film. And like you said, I hadn't watched it until much later in my life. I had never hated it. Like, I grew up and I'd watch a lot of Cinemassacre, and he'd always say like, I don't get it. It's got nothing to do with Michael Myers, but it's a good fucking movie. So I never had a disdain for the movie or something. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I just never cared. Like, I didn't have any interest in it because when you're young and you're going through horror, what's your first thought? Franchises. Get to the franchises. See all these characters. Cool. What's next? Another franchise. Cool. What's next? A new horror film. Cool. I'm watching that. As a teenager, I'm not going to go back to Season of the Witch because there's no real interest in it. Getting older, trying to knock down all these 80s films, find things that are either cult classics or things that I haven't knocked off my bucket list of horror films, you have to do it.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I said, okay, we're going to finally watch it. Did it in a big watch list of 2018. I went through every day, watched a horror film, saw it, and it was in the middle of my list. I thought it was a really good movie when I first saw it. I liked Tom Atkins is a great actor in the film. A lot of fun with him. But sometimes the other acting is whatever. The story, I think, is good, but like you said, it's bare bones and it feels it. And, you know, there's a lot of fun to be had, but I would never write home about it saying, like, this changed the game or, like... I think it's an unsung hero of the time, but I don't think it would have... If Halloween continued in the direction of being anthology, the idea is great. If it continued to follow after this film, I would not be excited.
Yeah, I get that.
I think the ending for the film is perfect. I love the ending.
Yeah, it's actually an homage to Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you. It's another one to knock off the list.
Yeah, it's Tommy Lee Wallace loved that movie, and he had to fight because I guess they tried to pull that shit in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and the studio was like, hey, happy ending.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they got it in this one is because John Carpenter had control, and Tommy Lee Wallace is his friend, and he said, "Whatever you want, I will back you up."
Yeah.
And they're like, and he's like, "Nope, we're keeping it. It's a downer ending, but we're keeping it."
I like the idea of it never solidifying that it goes on or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like if it even said that it did show up and then ended, I wouldn't like that. If it ever showed that, like, hey, it was definitely taken off, I wouldn't like that either. The fact that it's up to the viewer is what makes me happy.
Yeah.
I would love more films that did that. And it seems like nowadays, with films being spoon-fed the endings, you're like, dude, what the fuck? I love more open, ambiguous endings.
Yeah, I mean, that's what kind of where I like how much of a downer ending Halloween Kills ends on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the ending. I get why people didn't like the movie. A lot of it comes down to the ending, the mob shit, and some of the exposition and dialogue. But
yeah.
The ending's not the problem. I would have almost liked it better if the scene ended with her looking in the mirror and you saw him, and that's where it ends. I'd prefer that, personally.
Yeah, I get that. But I actually don't have any bone to pick with the acting in the movie, honestly.
Just the robot people. They feel not robotic, but like someone said, you know, robots? I've seen a few of those, and they tried to act robotic, and they're like, dude, you don't look robotic. You shit your pants. You don't want someone to catch you. Like, I'm sorry. But the actual actors, I think, do a good job. The main girl can be a bit hokey, but Atkins saves every scene. When she gives a response, and she's like, what about this? Atkins is like, don't worry, honey, I'll carry you.
Well, it's kind of like to me, it definitely plays out the way that it kind of really was. Like, she's a younger actress. Yeah. She has this wide-eyed, like doe-eyed kind of look to her, where she's just like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
And
Tom Atkins is like, don't worry, I'm an alcoholic.
Pretty much. But yeah, I think that she's an interesting character.
Yeah.
And I kind of find it very interesting the dynamic.
Downer, her ending.
Oh yeah. I remember someone they asked at a Q&A after a screening of Halloween 3, they asked Tommy Lee Wallace, like, so is she a robot the whole movie, or is she a robot just like after a certain point? And he's like, I don't know.
It has to be a certain point.
Yeah, I have no doubt that it's a certain point.
Yeah.
Because none of the robots are nearly as advanced in emotions and speaking or anything to make you believe otherwise.
Also, don't want to get off on a sidetrack, but I really wish when writers were asked those questions, they were assholes. I wish like someone goes like, so was she a robot the whole movie? She goes, shut the fuck up. Like he just says that. It's like, wait, what? Shut the fuck up. None of your business. Like there's something funny about writers just not giving a shit to me.
Yeah.
Like, because writers are so like brutalized by people that are ingesting their material, being like, so what about sections A, B, and C? Insert answer here. I knew you're a bigot.
Well, it's like the thing is like so many people talk about, I talk about, even in the previous episodes, talking about the script for Halloween 2 and why it's like it's a weak script. And a lot of people say, hey, this script sucks. And a lot of people don't understand how many hands scripts go through.
Yeah.
And the alterations they go through throughout the process.
That they never wanted or never should have had.
Studio notes that are maybe forced upon them, like in case of like we'll get to Halloween 6 where they just literally say, hey, we're not filming this fucking scene.
Sometimes you're lucky if your movie is good. Like at the end of the day, like think about all the films you love and really understand it's almost a miracle that they're any good. Like if it's like a passion project where directors have full freedom, it's more likely that they're going to be good, but like really think about how in-depth studio meddling is in with all films. You're just lucky if your film is good by the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like as the budget climbs, the interest in the studio in saying, hey, how about we take my idea? My favorite is
horror films. Like what's the budget? $20 million. Oh, $2 million? No, $20 million. What? $20 million? No. Who's gonna watch it? We're paying for this.
I'm going to tell you.
6 boobies are in the movie. 6 boobies? That's not enough to get $20 million back.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's exclusively horror films in the 90s, actually.
True. Yeah. But, it's just like, a lot of people talk about how the script of this movie sucks, and they don't really understand what they're really critiquing a lot of the time. Like, sometimes, yes, like, you can really look at a script and say, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah.
But like people gotta keep in mind sometimes when they say this screenplay is awful, this writer, his work is bad. It's just like
I can never get behind that shit.
You never know, man. You never know what happened, man.
Like unless it's like a director or a writer who has free range and like you can tell they're a piece of shit by the dialogue or like their actions around film or just people in general. Fine, but like I would never shit on a writer just because I didn't vibe with their script for a film. Like that's idiotic.
Yeah, and like the only reason why I can say things like that, like the script for Halloween 2 is bad, is like I've read so much about the creation of the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
And everything, even Carpenter points to like, yeah, my script is bad, guys.
Yeah.
So like it is a weird situation. Like when there's that much public knowledge about it, you can say that. But like a lot of times I feel like people are like, hey, I didn't like the movie, so the script sucks. And it's like I saw people like they drag Daniel Farrands for Halloween 6, and it's like they didn't film his scripts. Like they destroyed his script. And I'm not saying that Daniel Farrands is a good guy or a good writer or director, because he directed The Haunting of Sharon Tate. So like bad shit, man.
Yeah,
so like
100%.
I'm not saying he's super duper talented or that Halloween 6 would have been great if no one touched his script, but to be fair, they tore that movie apart 6 different ways from Sunday.
It's funny how kind of polar opposite it is, but like think of like the script for Friday the 13th with Victor Miller. Like this man is in a court battle to get the rights for a lot of these characters and a lot of these names with a script that like he just fucking threw shit on paper, and like these characters he didn't create with that script. And like, not to say he's a bad screenwriter, I'm not saying that, but like he did a work for hire, and with that work for hire, with a short amount of time, he had to dish out some work, and that screenplay shows, but it's not his fault. And now him and Cunningham, two creatives that really just threw shit on paper to make a quick buck, are arguing over the semantics like, I deserve this or I deserve that. You guys, you had the process. You went through a fast process to just dish this shit out, and you want full range of like, we deserve this. You don't deserve anything at the end of the day. Creatives deserve their money, don't get me wrong, but like, really Steve Miner is the creative behind the Friday franchise. And like, if you want to talk about splitting money, you should put that shit three ways.
Yeah, Miner's the guy who made the franchise that we know today.
Miner gave that series heart and like a pump up in fun and vibrance.
Strong direction, good edit, tight edit, you know, fun characters.
Yeah.
Good kills, well paced out kills. You know, like he's the guy who set the blueprint for that franchise moving forward.
But even so, like, screenwriters have a tough job, especially because most films, you don't have one screenwriter. I can't imagine having two screenwriters that have completely varied and different opinions trying to make one thing cohesive. It's tough.
Well, it's like looking at something like we're way off topic, but I think it's an interesting conversation to have. You know, like looking at a movie like Gemini Man, which came out a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like that movie was in development for like 20 years, and it ended up with three or four credited screenwriters.
How do you make that work?
One of which wrote Game of Thrones, which
not a positive anymore.
Explains a lot. No, but like there's a couple. There's another really notable screenwriter on there, but it's like they just could not make that movie work.
Yeah.
And when you have a movie in development hell like that for so long, sometimes you might just want to cut your losses.
Yeah, I agree.
And start over from the ground up. But
with horror, franchises in horror are so radically different because you have to say, what can we do with it? What are we utilizing? Why are we doing this? In the end of the day, like, Halloween 3 suffered from being a franchise because it didn't have what was associated with that franchise. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't called Halloween, no one would have watched it.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted failure because it being titled Halloween to begin with was a mistake.
Yes.
But also from like Tommy Lee Wallace's own admission, like the way that they marketed, they did not market the movie very well.
Yeah.
They did not do a good enough job really explaining to people what this movie is and why Michael's not in it. So
yeah,
people
I mean, even
showed
at
up
the end
and
of
was
the
like,
day,
hey, where's Michael Myers? And then they tell their friends and family, hey, don't see this movie. Michael's not even in the movie.
It is bad that he's just a move, like the Halloween is on one of the screens. Like,
you see, if they did that once, I wouldn't care. They do it twice.
Yeah,
and I do think that it's a little bit too cheeky. So that does get a little bit. Though I wouldn't mind if it was just the one in the cell or just the one initially.
I almost would just like it if there was a passing mention about Halloween antics going on, and like they mentioned, like Halloween's always had some dark, cryptic hidings behind it. Think about what happened in Illinois not that long ago. And then they mention other instances of things that happen on Halloween that haven't happened, but you can continue that in a sequel, setting it up of having future films, making it the same universe as Halloween, and you could do whatever the fuck. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I don't mind it not being connected, but like the idea that it cannot be connected does suck a little bit.
There is no reason why it can't be connected. Like, there's nothing that happens in this that directly contradicts it, except for the fact that Nancy Loomis is in it. The actress who plays Annie is his wife. That's the only issue I can see.
Well,
but,
I think the movie showing on the screen is a problem.
Well, it's like if you had a poster in the background, I think it would have been cooler.
Yeah, you could also get away with a lot if you don't show Michael in the poster.
Yeah, I don't mind them being like, well, Halloween's a movie in our universe.
You'd have to say
that.
like Halloween, like the movie in the universe is based on events that happened or something.
No. I'm saying that like you could have it in the same universe, but I also don't mind that it's not.
Yeah, I don't mind that it's not either.
I do think that they do like. I don't think we need to be reminded twice. I think it would have been cool if there was a subtle thing in the background, like thinking about like the Monster Squad, clubhouse versus the poster in the background.
I just like it being ambiguous, where you don't answer the question either way.
Yeah.
Saying it is in the universe or isn't. I like the idea of being like, hey, maybe I like it being in there or not. Having people create their own headcanons leaves a lot for your film to be sought after, I feel.
Yeah, some people really like the fact that they reference the movie so blatantly, but it's one of those things like it doesn't make or break it. It's just like I think it could have been cool if they did a little bit more subtly.
Yeah, I just like interaction in my films. Like that's why I like the end of it so much, because anything that makes me feel like I as a viewer can decide what's going on or happening, that's my decision. I'm interacting with your film. I'm not just watching it, I'm taking part in it, and that's cool. I think a little more interactiveness about saying connection to the franchise. What can I say? What can I decide? You know, if I want at the end of the day to say, hey, maybe that movie is based on events that happened, sure, but like, I'm reaching, dude. I'm Shaq dunking on fucking the Lakers reaching. Like, it doesn't really work, but I like ambiguity because it makes me say, hey, this is on me to decide what I like, and that's cool. Which is why that ending works so damn well.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Anything else you'd want to say about the film?
I want to say I really like Connell Cochran, the villain, a lot.
He's hammy in the good way.
Yeah, he's that kind of.
I like him like a Batman '60s villain.
Yeah, he's a very campy villain, but also like just thinking about his plan, like he is also very very scary because it's just like I mean he is possibly one of the most evil villains in the fucking movie. Like, oh, I'm going to literally murder as many children as I can. Just like
when that kid dies on screen, that shit looks visceral.
That's kind of thing. It's like that's stuff that they don't do in movies very often.
Yeah.
Like killing children.
I can't believe we don't want to kill more kids, man.
Yeah. But like killing children in movies is not. It has always been kind of on that taboo end of things. Like it's not that they don't do it in movies, but they don't do it very often.
It's not something you can market is the problem.
But also, it's like usually when it happens, it's not nearly as graphic as it is in Halloween 3. Like the way that kid dies is fucking gross.
Yeah. Because you as a studio don't want to be like, you remember that film where that fucking child dies brutally? I did that. Like, you know what I mean? It's tough to be like, yeah, that was my idea. I'd do it fucking again. Like.
Yeah, it's crazy. They were also telling like a little brief aside. They were telling a little story about that in the documentary on the disc.
Yeah.
They did all they released all the crickets out of the kid, and they couldn't find all the crickets. So for the entire time that they were filming on that set, it was just crickets all fucking day until they can get out of the set. They just could not find all the crickets. But yeah, like it's grody. Like, oh my god, like crickets coming out of people's mouths. You got fucking snakes coming out of his mouth.
Yeah,
it is grody.
I know I want to wrap this up fairly soon, but I do want to say the effect of it happening is phenomenal.
The effects in general are really fucking good. There's one little
some of the sci-fi shit is a little.
Yeah, it's laser beamy, but like I think that overall for what they tried to accomplish, I think they did a pretty freaking good job, especially with the practical stuff.
Yeah, like the after effects of the laser from the mask.
Oh, it's so good.
That woman looks fucked up. Oh,
I remember the first time I watched
it.
I'm like, holy fucking shit.
When they kill the dad though, that
and break his nose
so
and shove his nose bone into his fucking brain and lobotomize his ass and kill him. Yeah, that's fucking crazy because it's the bone crack that really gets you.
Yeah.
And the self-immolation. All that
stuff. A lot of cool kills in this movie.
Also like even like.
Why could you not like it? Like it's at me again. How could you say you hate this movie?
Oh, the homeless guy too. When they rip his head off.
No, I'm not saying that.
You know, like all the they kill the homeless guy, rip his head off. It's like that looks fantastic. Even the robot stuff, like when they're beating the shit out of the robots, that stuff looks pretty good too.
I just love the idea of like you have a homeless guy being like, here they can hear everything, like Cochran, fucking bitch, dude. And like Cochran's in the back, like, yo, what the fuck did he say? Is he talking shit? And he fucking just charges at him and he goes like, you're fucking dead, bitch.
Yeah.
I made my case. Why that seems awesome.
Even like also Dick Warlock's one of the robots.
Oh, maybe
he's
that's
like
why they're so fucking slow.
He's the one that he rips the fucking he punches him in the stomach.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Dick Warlock. He's also one of the ones that's in the elevator. Remember, I saw him. He walked up in. No, he rips the homeless guy's head off too.
Yeah.
He walks up and like, that fucking Dick Warlock. I never noticed that before this time. I don't know why I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw him like, holy shit, look at that. But yeah. Anyways,
yeah, that's kind of all I think really about the film.
Yeah, I don't really think there's anything else to say. I love it. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great horror film, and especially around the time of October and Halloween, it is a easy, great watch for the time. I think it's great. I watch it every October now.
Okay, what did you give for a final score?
8.5.
Okay, I shit on people that hate it, but like if I had to give it a score, 6.5, close to 7. Because I find some parts to be so boring.
Bro, you give Halloween 2.
I like Halloween 2 better.
Suck my balls.
Suck your balls, bro. No. Dude, I'm about to dangle this Jimmy on your forehead, bro.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I like the movie, but like sometimes it's fucking boring, dude. I'm sorry. I like some of the shit.
I'm so sorry. You're fucking wrong, Scott.
Okay. If you don't like the movie, die in the fire that killed Ben Tramer. But if you love the movie, great for you. I can't fully agree, but I like the movie. I think it's a fun time.
Don't you know that if you don't give it a fucking 8.5 out of 10 or higher, you hate the fucking movie, Scott? Didn't you know that?
I am going to, next day at work, I'm going to take your Haddonfield hat. I'm going to visibly make myself puke into it and say, this is for pissing me off on Halloween.
No, you won't, because I don't wear this hat to work.
You're going to forget one day and it's game over, dude.
I will definitely not do that.
Because, yeah, you're going to look at it before you leave. Puke hat, puke hat, puke hat, puke hat.
No, I don't want it to be dirty.
I think it's a fun movie. I have a good time with it. I get a little bored, but it's not for me. It's not my taste. But I totally get why people love it. Totally get it. It's not a background film for me on Halloween, but I totally understand why people can just say, we're going to put that thing on and just have a great time.
As someone, I mean, I watched it for the first time semi-recently at that point, a couple years back. But, like, I'm glad it's something that got a reappraisal.
Yeah, I agree.
It's something that, like...
Deserves it,
like,
100%.
Yeah, like, it's a good movie, man. Like, it's fun. It's really good. I like the characters. It's got an awesome concept.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love the designs of the masks. They all look great.
Yeah,
it's a little weird. This company's only selling 3 fucking masks, but whatever.
It's all they need, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I want to buy them. I want to have them.
He's a warlock. He's got control over the stock market.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say. I had a good time talking about this film. I had a good time rewatching it. Really excited to talk about the next one.
I'm really excited to finally just like rewatch it because that movie, Halloween 4, I watched that's like a comfort movie for me, man.
That's my favorite one to put on.
I'll just toss it on in the background. It's fun. It's a good movie. We'll talk about why it's good. But
I've had a lot to talk about for a lot of great things. A lot of not so great things, but like the second to last time I watched it, I was down on the movie. This time I was like, fuck that guy. This film's woo.
That's the Halloween movie. It's the only Halloween movie I had to score for.
Really? For vinyl?
Yep.
You have the Halloween 4 vinyl?
Yep.
Fuck you, bitch.
It was my first Mondo vinyl.
Nice. Mine was Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, I got that in the same pack. I got the Guests soundtrack. Yeah. So.
All right, so on to a fan favorite of both of ours. If we're gonna have a list out, it's gonna be the one that's always gonna be in the top, besides obviously the first one. And you know, I'm excited to talk about that, and it's gonna be a great conversation. And I hope you join us for it. Thank you so much for watching this about Halloween 3. I'll see you in the return. Bye bye.